Hi, my name is Dan McCrae. I am the Director of Academic Support at the Center for Distance Learning at Empire State College. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about Carol Dweck and her work on mindsets. Carol Dweck is a psychologist at Stanford University, and decades of research by Dweck and her colleagues have shown that success doesn't just depend on your intelligence, as we often think, but also on what we believe about how intelligence works. In her early experiments, Dweck would give 4-year-olds jigsaw puzzles to work on. These children had a choice. They could keep doing simple, easy puzzles, or they could choose to start doing progressively complicated and harder puzzles. What she found is that some students chose to keep doing the easy puzzles over and over again, while others went straight from the easy to the complex and difficult puzzles. In another experiment, she was investigating how people cope with failure. To find out, she intentionally gave students very difficult puzzles. While working on the difficult puzzles, some students would seem happy instead of frustrated, and they would say strange things like, "I was hoping this was going to be informative," and "I love a challenge." Dweck thought to herself, what is wrong with these students? She thought the students would either cope with the failure or not cope with the failure, but these students didn't even think they were failing. She wondered, what was the difference between these students who said things like this and who kept choosing the more difficult puzzles and those who kept doing the easy puzzles over and over again? After years of continued research, Dweck found the most important difference was their mindset. A mindset is just another word for a set of beliefs we hold about how something works. She found there were two types of mindsets or beliefs about how intelligence works: the fixed and the growth. In the fixed mindset, people believe that intelligence was static. It doesn't change. For example, if you were trying to solve puzzles and having a difficult time, you might believe you just weren't born a good puzzle solver. And if you weren't born that way, there's not much you can do to change that. So your mission would be to hide that fact, and even to fake it, and make yourself and others believe you were a good puzzle solver. Challenge would be an unacceptable risk, because failure would be a terrible flaw that exposed your weaknesses to everybody. So you would continually choose to do easy puzzles to achieve this. However, if you had a growth mindset, you believed that intelligence could be developed through hard work and effort. If you were born a great puzzle solver, that was good, but you would have to work and practice to become an even better puzzle solver. More importantly, if you weren't born a great puzzle solver, through lots of hard work, practice, and challenge, you could learn to become a great puzzle solver. What Dweck and many other researchers have found is we have mindsets about lots of different areas: school, work, sports, leadership, even relationships. For college students, an important finding from the research is that a growth mindset predicts higher grades, higher graduation rates, and deeper learning. A fixed mindset predicted lower grades, lower graduation rates, and superficial learning. This chart shows the results of a study by Blackwell, Trzynowski, and Dweck. It's a graph of the effect of mindset and time on math achievement. Mathematics grades were tracked for over 2 years of junior high school for students with a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. By the end of the study, having a growth mindset predicted significantly higher grades. This is a finding that has been found in many studies of many types of students: middle school, high school, and college students. Even more importantly, studies found once students became aware of their mindsets through mindset training, even if they started with a fixed mindset, they could change their mindset to a growth mindset and subsequently earn higher grades. Students who did not receive mindset training continued to earn lower grades. This graph shows the results of a study by Blackwell and Dweck. It's a study of the effect of a mindset training intervention. As you can see, between time 1 and time 2, both groups of students had declining grades. At time 2, there was a mindset training intervention. The experimental group was trained in how to develop and use a growth mindset. From this point on, their grades reversed and started to improve. The group that didn't receive the mindset training, the control group, continued to earn lower grades. One of the most exciting recent findings on the importance of mindsets is the study of how our mindsets affect our brain's functioning. This is the work of Jason Mosier of Michigan State University. He found that fixed and growth mindsets affected how our brains function, and the strength of the difference in how our brains functioned was correlated with how strong our belief in a mindset was. This graph shows activity in the brain for people with fixed mindsets and growth mindsets. In the experiment by Mosier, there was greater activity in the brain for people with a growth mindset. This increased activity for people in the growth mindset and lack of activity for people in the fixed mindset was in a part of the brain that was involved with monitoring behavior and signaling the need for more mental control. So I think there are at least 3 important implications from the Mosier study. First, I think it's powerful support for Carol Dweck's work, that you can look at someone's brain and tell whether they have a fixed or growth mindset. Second, by changing our mindsets from fixed to growth, we actually change how our brains work in a beneficial way. And finally, if we already have a growth mindset, if we consciously increase the strength of that mindset, we can change how our brains function in an even more powerful way. This graph from the Mosier study shows the difference in brain activity for people with fixed and growth mindsets, which is measured by the bottom axis. TOI stands for Theory of Intelligence, which is the scientific term for mindset. The left vertical axis shows the difference in brain activity. The results show the people with a growth mindset had more activity in the parts of the brain that have to do with monitoring behavior and mental control. Also, the stronger the growth mindset was, the more activity there were in those centers. The opposite was true for those with the fixed mindset, who had less activity in those brain centers. Also, the stronger their fixed mindset was, the less activity they had there. So to summarize, mindsets are personal beliefs or theories about how intelligence, talent, ability, and even willpower work. A fixed mindset is when you believe those things are set at birth, are static, and don't change. A growth mindset is when you believe all those inner traits can be grown, developed, and improved. This has a large impact on things like GPA, deep active learning, and even how our brains function. Most importantly, no matter what our mindset is, whether it's fixed or growth, we can change it, either to a growth mindset, or if we already have a growth mindset, to an even stronger growth mindset. So there are lots of things that we can learn and use from the research on mindsets. For this class, we will focus on how mindsets affects our writing, and more generally, how mindsets affect college students and their success. So over the next week, read the 2 short articles I assigned, look over the Mindsets cheat sheet, watch the videos on mindsets. There will be a short assignment in the assignment section of the module and a short quiz, as well as a journal exercise. More importantly, what I want you to do is think about your own mindset. How might your mindset affect your writing? How might your mindset affect your college success? And we'll discuss this as we go through the class.